Let's dance. Come on, Michelle, this was the golden age of music. Go fight it. Feel it. Give yourself a chance. Oh, this is the fun part. Let's go. You ready? Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your booty.
Now I know why disco died.
It didn't die, it's just been in the witness protection program.
We love John Stamos as Uncle Jesse on Full House. From flipping burgers in his dad's restaurant to becoming a famous TV star, his story is truly inspiring. But there is a story behind that cute smile and rock star image that is full of both good and bad things. Fans are shocked by the terrible news that came out recently. What could possibly break this Hollywood star's hearts so badly? Come with us as we look into the most recent and saddest part of John Stamos' life. We fell in love with John Stamos as Uncle Jesse on Full House. He was born in sunny Cypress, California, on August 19, 1963. Bill Stamos, his dad, was a second-generation Greek-American restaurant owner, and Loretta, his mom, was always there for him when he had big plans. As a fun fact, his family's last name used to be Stamatopoulos, but they changed it to Stamos. As a child, John worked in his dad's restaurants and learned how the business worked. In fact, he worked as a burger flipper in Orange County when he was young. John had bigger plans, though. He adored the Beach Boys and wished he could play a gig. He was 15 years old when he saw them live and was hooked right away. John skipped college to follow his acting dreams, and his folks were okay with it. Making that choice was risky, but his dad, who always backed his son's goals, said it was okay. Also, guess what? He got his first part on the soap show General Hospital in just 3 weeks. John Stamos started playing right away after high school, when he got the part of Blackie Parrish on the soap opera General Hospital in 1982. For his part in 1984, he was even nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award. It was his first taste of fame. It's not bad for a first try, right? Stamos wasn't happy with just daytime TV, though. In the same year, he got his big break when he got the lead part in the CBS sitcom Dreams. He played an up-and-coming singer in a band who wanted to be a rock star. The show didn't last long, which was too bad, but it was another step toward his big break. In 1986, Stamos tried his luck again with the sitcom You Again, which paired him with old-timer Jack Klugman. He didn't have much luck, though, because this show was also canceled after only a few episodes. Stamos didn't give up, and his first movie role was in the action spy movie Never Too Young to Die. The movie was meant to be like a young James Bond journey, and he played a young spy. George Lazenby, who used to play James Bond, played John Stamos' dad in the movie. Sad to say, though, the movie bombed with both reviewers and audiences. That hurts. Even though things went wrong, Stamos wasn't giving up. He worked hard to get ahead in Hollywood and was sure that his big break was just around the corner. He had no idea that it would come in the form of a cute uncle on a family show that would win over millions of people. Things began to get better for John Stamos in the late 1980s, when Full House slowly became a huge hit. He became a heartthrob when he played Uncle Jesse, the cool and charming singer. To honor his Greek background, he even demanded that the last name of his character be changed to Katsopoulos. Talk about being proud of where you come from. Uncle Jesse lived with Danny Tanner, his brother-in-law, and Joey Gladstone, Danny's best friend. After Danny's wife died, these 3 crazy guys took care of his 3 girls. At first, Jesse was the bad guy. He was always after people and getting into trouble. However, he finally got married, fell in love with Rebecca Donaldson, and had 2 cute boys, Nikki and Alex. His change was so sweet that it made him even more lovable. After 8 seasons of making people laugh, cry, and feel good, Full House ended in 1995. The bonds that were made on set, however, continued to grow. Stamos stayed in touch with his co-stars, including Bob Saget, Dave Coulier, Lori Loughlin, Jodie Sweetin, the Olsen twins, Andrea Barber, and Candace Cameron Bure. It wasn't just work that they did together. In real life and on TV, they were a family. John Stamos has been in a lot of projects, from TV shows and movies to plays and even ads. He can't stay still. It's likely that he's done it. He was in 2 TV shows that didn't last long, Thieves 2001 and Jake in Progress 2005. Both shows could have been good. In the end, they just didn't quite make it. He also showed up in a Pretty Cool Friends episode in 2003. Do you remember the one where Chandler and Monica hunt for a sperm donor? They talked to Stamos over dinner, but he didn't know they were actually looking for him for his, well, it was a funny show. And Stamos had great funny timing. In 2005, Stamos even had a funny guest spot on the Andy Milonakis show, where he played a crazy version of himself stuck in a tree. Even though the skit was crazy, it showed that Stamos was ready to have fun and try new things. For Stamos, it wasn't all fun and games, though. He played a gay wedding planner in the 2006 A&E TV movie Wedding Wars. Stamos cared about this part because it let him show his support for same-sex marriage. He wasn't afraid to stand up for what he thought was right, even if it meant not playing boy-next-door types of parts. John Stamos is clearly more than just Uncle Jesse from Full House. He can play a lot of different roles, from funny to serious to a little crazy. He's also not afraid to use his fame to back up good causes. John Stamos tried his hand at voice acting because he was always up for a challenge. He gave the cartoon MTV show Clone High his smooth voice and played himself in a crazy prom episode. He also did the voice of a lost penguin in Bob Saget's comic farce of the Penguins. He has a lot of skills that never seem to end. But Stamos wasn't done with real life yet. In 2005, he filled in as a paramedic intern on 2 episodes of the popular medical show ERR. Tony Gates, the role he played, became a fan favorite very quickly. Also, guess what? The next year, he became a regular cast member and gave up his leather jacket for Scrubs. When the famous play A Raisin in the Sun was turned into a TV show in 2008, Stamos played a more serious part. Racism and the American dream were at the center of this powerful drama, and Stamos' performance was praised for its emotional depth and passion. That said, Stamos wasn't always serious. He was the roast master at the Comedy Central roast of Bob Saget that same year. With jokes and insults aimed at his longtime friend, he showed that he could both give and receive heat. John Stamos continued to amaze and delight viewers with his wide range of skills, from voice acting to medical dramas to comedy roasts. He loved to make people laugh and was always willing to try something new. He brought his charm to the singing world of Glee in 2010. He played Carl Howell, a good-looking dentist who Emma Pillsbury, a strange guidance counselor, liked. It was a fun and flirty part that showed how versatile Stamos is as an actress. But that wasn't the end of his starring roles. In 2011, Stamos played a defense lawyer with a dark secret on Law & Order, Special Victims Unit, which was a big change for her. He wasn't in one of his usual comedic parts, but he showed he could handle the seriousness of a crime. He also got together with old friend Bob Saget to make a funny movie about college. Fans laughed out loud at the 2 actors' silly pranks. They were known for their playful banter and comedic chemistry. Stamos even played himself in a small role on 2.5 Men. He wanted to buy the house that Charlie Sheen plays, but he changed his mind when he found out who owned it. Fans of both shows were talking about it because it was so meta. Being the face of Dannon's Oikos Greek yogurt in 2011 was a big deal for John Stamos. It made him famous to a whole new generation. He was in a bunch of funny ads that showed off his charm and comedic timing. In 2012, he even got a Super Bowl ad, which is a big deal for any actor. Who knew that playing with Greek yogurt could be so much fun? Stamos wasn't happy with just selling yogurt, though. He was always looking for new acting tasks. In 2012, it was said that he would be playing the lead in a new Fox drama called Little Brother. The show was about a man who finds out he has a long-lost half-brother. The plot sounded like it could be both funny and touching. The show never aired, which is a shame, but it shows that in Hollywood, even the biggest stars don't always get what they want. Stamos' career was far from over, even though Little Brother didn't work out. One of John Stamos' first roles in a sports drama was on the 2013 show Necessary Roughness. He played Connor McClain, a successful sports agent who wanted to hire Danny, the main character of the show, for his business. It was a smooth and charming part that fit Stamos' obvious charm. Stamos didn't just want to play sports agents, though. He was also set to play the lead in a new ABC soap show called Members Only. Someone told Stamos it would be a juicy story about the lives of the rich and powerful, and he was ready to jump in. The network then ended the show before it even aired, though. John Stamos shocked everyone in 2015 when he said on Jimmy Kimmel Live that the whole cast would be getting back together. Fuller House, a new show on Netflix, was a return of the popular comedy, and fans were thrilled. The 13-episode new show started in February 2016 and had most of the original group back, including Stamos as the beloved Uncle Jesse. But that wasn't Stamos' only big project that year. He also played a single restaurant owner who finds out he has a son and a niece in the new Fox sitcom Grandfathered. Loved the show about family and second chances, and Stamos' charm came through again. In 2016, Stamos showed his Greek roots again by being in the follow-up to the funny romantic comedy My Big Fat Greek Wedding. He played a new part called George, who was a fun addition to the crazy Portakis family. Just when you thought Stamos couldn't be in more than one place at once, he joined the group of Scream Queens for its second season on Fox. He played Dr. Brockholt, a smart but mysterious doctor who had a dark background. Stamos showed us he could do more than just make us laugh with this part, which was both dark and funny. No one saw coming when John Stamos played a darker character on the Lifetime horror show You in 2018. He played Dr. Nicky, a doctor who had a bad sense of right and wrong and liked to self-medicate. This Uncle Jesse wasn't like the others. I thought Dr. Nicky was sneaky, cocky, and maybe even a little creepy, but Stamos took on the task, giving a show that was both scary and interesting. A lot of people liked the show and couldn't wait to see more of Dr. Nicky's crazy shenanigans. Stamos said in 2019 that he would be back for season 2, but there was a catch. Lifetime was giving up the show, and Netflix was getting it. This meant that the dark and addicting story would reach more people and get even more attention. When it came out in December 2019, the second season was just as fierce and exciting as the first. As time went on, Dr. Nicky's personality changed, showing more dark and complicated sides. Again, Stamos' performance stood out, showing that he could play a part that was very different from the good guys he was usually known for. John Stamos started making music when he was only 4 years old. He started playing the drums. After that, he picked up the guitar and started a band called Destiny. They didn't play to packed arenas, but they did rock out at parties and amusement parks, getting more knowledge and getting better at playing music. Shades of Blue was Stamos' first record as a solo artist. It came out in 1994. It wasn't a huge hit, but it showed how much he loved music and was open to trying new things as a musician. Fans could hear Stamos' unique style of music again when the record came out digitally in 2010. Stamos was more than just a drummer and guitarist, though. He could sing and dance too. He showed off his skills on Broadway, being the lead in shows like Nine, Cabaret, and How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. He showed that he was a triple threat by performing to great reviews and showing off his amazing singing voice and dancing skills. Even more, Stamos helped make a charity record in 2006 called Unexpected Dreams, Songs from the Stars. He showed his softer side and his ability to connect with people through music by singing a touching version of Billy Joel's Good Night, My Angel. John Stamos put on his dancing shoes again in 2009 and went back to the bright lights of Broadway. He said that he would be the lead in a new production of The Old Show by Birdie. Stamos was very excited about this because he had always loved musical theater and wanted to show what he could do on the Great White Way. He played the part of Albert Peterson, a musician who gets involved with a crazy plan involving a rock and roll star. He gave a lively, charismatic show that was full of the Stamos charm that we all know and love. Also, guess what? He did so well that he won the Golden Icon Award for Best Actor in a Musical. That's not all, though. Later that same year, Stamos got another amazing award, a star on the Walk of Fame in Hollywood. This is a big deal for any star, and it shows how much of an impact they've had on the entertainment business. There is a star for Stamos at 7221 Hollywood Boulevard that will always remember people of what he did for movies, TV, and theater. Stamos reached a lot of important points that year. He had won an important award, taken over Broadway, and solidified his place among the best in Hollywood. John Stamos is more than just a pretty face and a good actor. He won our hearts as Uncle Jesse on Full House. He can play music well too, and he's not shy about showing it off. Stamos played with the great John Fogerty at a show after a Tampa Bay Rays baseball game in 2010. Can you picture how exciting that show would have been? Stamos rocked out on the tambourine, drums, and even bass guitar, showing that he can play many instruments well. But Stamos is not as a star in a production of the hit musical Hairspray at the Hollywood Bowl in 2011. He showed off his skills. Along with a star-studded group, he played the charming TV host Corny Collins. He made the character come to life with his smooth moves and contagious energy. He even got to show off his singing and dancing skills. When John Stamos went back to Broadway in 2012, it was for a different kind of part. In The Best Man, a politically charged movie by Gore Vidal, he played Senator Joseph Cantwell. Even though it was very different from his days on comic sitcoms, Stamos showed that he could handle the drama and intrigue of a high-stakes political fight. He never forgot his Full House roots, though. Fans were thrilled when he surprised them by getting back together with Jesse and the Rippers on Jimmy Fallon's late night show in 2013. Jimmy Fallon, the show's host, told the fact that the band was a big deal from San Francisco and had a #1 hit in Japan. Stamos rocked out to a mix of great Full House songs, such as Forever and the show's famous theme song, Everywhere You Look. The crowd went crazy. People from Full House like Bob Segwit and Lori Loughlin even showed up in small roles, making it a real reunion. John Stamos directed a music video for the Nashville band Diamond Carter in 2014 that the song, Let Yourself Be Loved, was catchy and had a sweet feel to it. With his sharp eye for stories and images, Stamos brought the song to life. He even helped write the song with Michael Gigani, which is another example of how good he is at singing. Tyler Teehee, the lead singer of the band, and Nikki Whalen, an actor, were in the music video. It was a sweet story about love and getting close, and Stamos' direction gave it a little Hollywood magic. When the song came out on Yahoo Music on May 21st, 2014, it was a big hit right away. His love for the Beach Boys didn't end with his record. Those heroes let him play music with them live. He played drums and other percussion instruments most of the time starting in 1985, adding his own rhythmic style to their well-known sound. We all know and love the catchy summer song, Kokomo, and Stamos was even in the music video for it. He was more than just a pretty face on the drums because he could play both the conga and the steel drums. He didn't stop there, though. He played drums on the title track for the comedy movie Problem Child with the Beach Boys again in 1990. He even had a small role in the music video, where he rocked out with his favorite musicians. John Stamos' love for the Beach Boys went to a whole new level in 1992, when he sang lead on a new version of their hit song, Forever. It wasn't just any song. In 1970, the late Beach Boy Dennis Wilson wrote and sang it for the first time. There's a lot of importance in that song for both the band and their fans. But wait, it gets cooler still. Full House had played the song Forever twice before, sung by Uncle Jesse, played by John Stamos. 2 times, a recording of Jesse singing to his twin boys, and at his wedding played back-to-back. One moment when everything comes full circle. The music video for Forever by Jesse and the Rippers in 1992 was mostly just a way for John Stamos to show off his acting skills. He was in the middle, singing his heart out. Fans who were really paying attention saw that 3 members of the Beach Boys were also in the video, singing backup with Stamos. It was a sweet moment when a really big fan and his artistic heroes worked together. Besides his great work, he has also been through some very bad times in his life. In an interview with Jane magazine, they asked him to describe the worst time he had cheated on someone. He was in a band that toured Finland in the mid-1980s. He met a girl who seemed to really like him. They ended up in his hotel room together, even though she was drunk, and he realized he wasn't really interested in her. Came up with a crazy plan. He turned off the lights, told her he was going to brush his teeth, and then he came back with a friend who looked a lot like him. The girl thought she was having a private moment with the artist, but she was actually making out with someone else without her permission. This story is very scary, and it's hard to understand why he would admit to acting that way. He not only lied to the woman to make her think she was with the artist, but he also didn't care about her because he was young and didn't have a conscience at the time. People on Twitter were shocked and disgusted, and many asked how such a statement could be seen as okay. Some people said that this could be called rape by the law since the woman did not give permission for it to happen. This kind of dishonest behavior could be blamed on both the artist and his friend. Besides that, John Stamos got in trouble with the law in 2015. He wasn't driving around in Uncle Jesse's cool car, though. Instead, he was driving drunk in Beverly Hills and acting so badly that people were worried and called the police. The cops knew something was wrong when they caught up with him. They thought Stamos wasn't just drunk because he was acting strange. He was taken to the hospital to get checked out. He was high on GHB, which is also called a date rape drug. It's clear and can make you feel drunk without the smell of alcohol. It's a common drug at parties, but you don't want to be caught driving while high on it. On top of that, The 52-year-old star was put on probation for 3 years. He also went to rehab for a month. He later said those days were some of the hardest of his life. You may know Bob Saget as John Stamos' best friend from Full House. He got in trouble for being too bad, especially on set. A story from 1992 says that Stamos, Saget, and Dave Coulier, who played Uncle Joey, talked about adult topics and used bad language in front of the young cast members. It was even said that there were Playboy mags hidden on set. We don't know for sure if these stories are true at this point. It's true that where there's smoke, there's fire, but sometimes people just like to talk about famous people. It looks like something fishy is going on here, and it makes you wonder what was really going on at the studios of America's favorite family comedy. Allison Koss says that she met star John Stamos and fell in love with him when she was 17. This is not true, according to John's lawyer, who says things got serious when Allison and her friend Scott tried to blackmail John for $680,000 by saying they had pictures of him with adult entertainers. The lawyer said that the two had sexual encounters when John was 40, but John completely denies the claims. The event is thought to have happened in Florida, an Orlando bar, where John asked Allison and her friends, who were all teenagers, to his hotel room. This is against the law. The case was made even more complicated by the drugs and adult entertainers that were there, which John denies. According to Allison's lawyer, she kept up a flirty email exchange with John for years. But if this were true, there would definitely be paper records to back up these claims. As a result, people who are found out have to defend themselves, but many of them don't have the tools to do so. Even with all of these claims against him, John Stamos seems to have cleared his name. It was found that Allison and Scott tried to blackmail him. After that, the FBI searched their home but didn't find any proof or embarrassing pictures, which makes it seem like John may have been set up on purpose. It looks like Uncle Jesse's charm wasn't always so sweet, especially when he was at Disneyland. Jenny Nicholson, who worked at the park, says that female actors have a lot of John Stamos stories. It's no secret that he's been too friendly with the women, and now they try to avoid pairing him with female VIP guides. Nicholson says the things she's heard don't make sense and can't be made up. If it weren't true, tour guides wouldn't say he touched them and try to get them to come back to his hotel room, would they? Her own trainer told her about Stamos' bad behavior, so she knows for sure that it happened. It all draws a pretty bad picture of the actor, but that's not all of Stamos' bad behavior. As I look into it more, I see that he has had problems with drugs and alcohol in the past. In 2007, he showed up on an Australian talk show and looked very drunk. People laughed out loud when they saw Stamos acting defensive and fighting with the media while clearly drunk. He even said he had problems with booze and something else. The little blue pills, you know. In 2015, he said that he takes care of himself before dating someone. He can remember a specific time when he brushed his teeth, took a shower, and then sexed with a woman orally. He was chewing gum, which got into her mouth. John has also talked about how many women he's dated and how much attention they give him, like when they take selfies with him or ask for mementos from their dates. These statements could make him seem like a cocky person, turning the closeness into an exchange. It turns out that John Stamos is a huge Elvis Presley fan. He often talks about and honors the king of rock and roll on Full House, which shows how much he loves the music star. Stamos loved more than just music, though. They met at a Victoria's Secret fashion show in 1994 and fell in love. Romine is a model and actor. What a wonderful first meeting. After 3 years, on Christmas Eve 1997, they got engaged. In 1998, they had a big wedding at the Beverly Hills Hotel. They were the cool couple for a while, but their love story didn't last forever. In 2004, they said they were splitting up, and by the next year, they were divorced. The sad ending to a love story that had fans and reporters all glued to their seats. Even though he was having problems in his personal life, Stamos kept using his fame for good. He has been a spokeswoman for Project Cuddle since 2005. Project Cuddle is a charity that helps keep babies from being abandoned and helps parents who are having a hard time. He fell in love again with Caitlin McHugh, a model and actor, in 2017. She was 22 years younger than him. After going out for a year, they got engaged, which made fans go crazy. Everyone wanted Uncle Jesse to find his happily ever after, and it was like a real-life fairy tale. But that wasn't the end of the fun. The couple told everyone in December of that year that they were going to have their first child together. People were very happy, and they couldn't wait to see the cute pictures of the babies. For a beautiful wedding, Stamos and McHugh got married in February 2018. Their son Billy was born in April of that year. It was a happy finish for the well-known actor, who finally got married and had his own children. You might think that Stamos and McHugh only wanted to be happy, but they also wanted to help other people. They started making their own jewelry in May 2018 and named it St. Amos Jewelry. All the money they made went to the Child Help Foundation, a nonprofit that works to stop and help child abuse. As a kind person who wants to use his fame for good, Stamos did something very kind and touching. He was more than just a hot guy in Hollywood. One beautiful piece of jewelry at a time. He wanted to make the world a better place.